Everybody, thanks for watching and welcome to Meditation Volume 2. So, it's a lot we got to get into in this video, but I want to get people into the understanding of what this particular part is going to be about and get people familiar with the fact that, one, when you see a lot of videos or if you go on the internet and you look at what's going on with meditation and what people are doing, you don't really need to waste your time, watching a person meditate. Watch a person get into meditative position where they can't really, nobody can tell you exactly what exactly is going to, happen for you in meditation. Everybody's experience will be different. What you guys need to understand is the true point and purpose and the kind of mindset you need to be coming into meditation with, and understand what it really is and what it really does and how to really use it to benefit you. This is the issue. You have too many people out here putting out stuff on meditation and really not understanding what it's about. And, if you didn't really get, part one, when I was going into exactly, really understanding that this stuff is real and that energy is real and this stuff is really corresponding with your energy and so much more. So there's a lot more to it that you need to psychologically understand, that you need to get into your heart and really get and grasp the concept of what we're talking about when we're talking about true spirituality and true meditation and everything that entails, because you're going to be lost. And a lot of people, you go into wherever you meditate and you get in lotus position and you close your eyes, and a lot of you fall asleep. A lot of you just think and you let your mind wander and you really don't know what to expect, and you don't realize that not knowing is hindering you, that not knowing where this is going and what exactly should I be doing in this meditative position is a problem. So we're going to really get into this in this DVD and get you into the correct mindset and understand that there is so much more to all of this, and there's so many things that has been put in place to really hinder us and separate us from the true connection that we need to have in order for our meditation to work correctly for us. And it's the reason why a lot of people are having problems and issues. I talked about me going to Thailand, going to Tibet, being in Thailand for a month and really, studying with the monks and learning from the monks about meditation and breathing techniques. I put out Buddhism, and I talked about how, in India, when he went to China and taught Chan Buddhism to the Shaolin monks to really get them to understand about the techniques they needed to use in order to stay in meditative positions for a long period of time to really get their bodies ready for meditation. This is a whole nother step that we'll get into down the line, but there's something you guys got to remember, that there's a lot more to it than just lotus position, closing your eyes. There is a oneness, a uniqueness. You have to get your body and mind ready for meditation with a clear understanding of what exactly is going to take place. Plain and simple. So we're really going to get into this and get you guys to understand the true purpose of, everything that deals with the heart, and how the heart is really important when it comes to meditation, and how the synchronicity of your heart and mind and everything else has to line up and has to be in rhythm, in tune, in order for this to be understood and be done correctly. So in part one, we got into, how consciousness, how energy is very real in the body. I talked about this, and how that, we have consciousness creating energy. The energy is allowing us to move, and about how our conscious thoughts can basically control our body. I gave the analogy of sex, of course, about having physical stimulation by thought alone. The most amazing thing that we do on a conscious level as far as thinking about sex and getting aroused, having physical movement because of thought. That is because our desire for sex is so high, it's so strong. Our desire for that feeling is so strong and it's so true and real that we basically transcend, we basically, kick in the door for those feelings, for that emotion, and we basically bypass, everything spiritual, our consciousness and everything else, just to get this feeling. It's an amazing thing that we do that we take for granted every single day. But it's very real. And this is how we use this analogy to really think about how we can in other ways stimulate our mind, use our consciousness to control our body. So we have to really get into that in part one to get you to understand, one, meditation is real, and this is how we can prove it in these very simple ways. So, when you get into the whole thing, talked about this. What is it exactly that we are trying to do with meditation? What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? What exactly is it? And the purpose, the point that we want to achieve is mind, body, energy, or mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, however you want to put it. So, what is that exactly? What is that? Mind, body, spirit, what is that? And, mind, we can really understand, our mind. Body is the one that confuses people the most. Spirit, we understand, our energy, our soul, or what have you. But of the three, really, the body of the three is the most important because it's the one that we in this physical plane is going to be controlling the most. It's the one that we have the most control over, but also it's the body that we're going to use to help develop the rest. And that's the point, again, of us being in this flesh to do exactly that. So when you understand, the body, most people, when you hear the body, you think about, the entire body. And that's not necessarily true of what you need to be focusing on. It's really the heart. Plain and simple, the heart. And this is what they mean when they say the body. It's the heart. Now, of course, if we don't take care of the body, then the heart will, it won't function correctly. You won't get the kind of energy you need for your heart if your body is not taken care of. So you can also look at it in that aspect that it's a total package to where, your body has to be right, but really your body needs to be right so that your heart can be right. That is the key, is your heart. And of course, most people think that the mind is more important than the heart. Most people will say, well, your brain, you need your brain. It's all about the brain, the mind, the mind, the mind. But a lot of people don't understand that your heart sends more neurological signals to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. Plain and simple. Every time your heart beats, it creates a magnetic field that can be measured by magnetometers. And I talked about this before in the human energy on YouTube. So you have so many neurological signals coming from the heart to the brain. And we're going to get into this more in this video, that it's very serious how much control and impact your heart has. And it's going to be sort of a theme in this DVD. We're going to really get into the heart because of everything. I have no idea how important this is and how, when we take a look at a lot of things about how we are being attacked daily and how really everything is more focused on the heart than the mind. And when you understand that your heart is sending more neurological signals to the brain, you can see how, this is possible and why it's possible that they want to attack the heart more than the mind. So now, as I said, every time your heart beats, it generates a electrical magnetic field that communicates with every single cell in your body. Our hearts are connected to the Earth's electromagnetic field. The only thing is, it's about synchronicity, which we'll get into. Now, when you pay attention, you understand all living things, just about every single living organism, mammals, almost every animal that we see has a connection to the Earth's electromagnetic field. They use it. And we understand that the importance of, the heart, when you think about what we can possibly use the Earth's electromagnetic field for. We understand how animals use it. They get around and use it to navigate. But we are so out of sync with the magnetic field that we do not use it. We are basically going off of instincts. We are flying blind. If we needed to use it to get around the planet, we would be lost. Animals are still in tune with it. So now, when you understand that, they are attacking our heart, as I said, this is why the number one cause of death in the world is heart disease. Everybody goes into cardiac arrest and you die and your heart stops, that's game over. Plain and simple, no coming back from that. So the number one killer of people on this planet is heart disease. Understand that. And that is by design, because they want to attack the heart, and they are constantly attacking the heart daily. Everything is about attacking your heart, which we know has a strong connection to the brain. So when you attack the heart, you attack both the mind and the heart, the body, everything. So when you go back and you pay attention to the ancient Egyptians and how they said the heart was the key to the afterlife. So we understand about, the whole Ani's Book of the Dead, talked about this in the Egyptian Book of the Dead DVD, about remember when you went through judgment and you had the heart on the scale of Ma'at, and that, everything is true, you're good to go. If not, Amet devours your heart. But everything was about truth. The heart was serious to the ancient Egyptians, and it's a big deal because, everything that they did was in truth. And we're going to get into this, why it's that truth attachment with it and why this is very important. But remember, the Egyptians, during the whole embalmment ceremony, they took out everything. All the organs came out, the heart stayed with the body because they believe it's the key. And you got to pay attention to what are they really saying here, because we know when you die, that's it. Heart stops, it's over. So you're not physically taking a heart with you to the afterlife. Physically your heart is not beating, it's not working. It's just as dead as all the other organs. So why leave the heart? And you got to understand that's symbolic of you understanding that if your heart is not right when you are alive, you can't go through judgment in the afterlife. You won't make it. So your heart has to be right. And why is that? We're going to get into this in a little bit later in this video. But the heart, that's what they're trying to convey to us, that the heart must be right. The heart is everything. The heart is the key. And you're going to understand that a lot more. All of this cointells, all of this goes with meditation. It's deep. It's a lot to get into here. So we understand that. Okay, heart is important. You understand animals and so many animals, how to use the Earth's electromagnetic field. When you start talking about stuff like this, a lot of people look at it like it's spooky, like this is not something that we can't measure and see is real. We know about loggerhead turtles. The loggerhead turtle, remember, they go ahead and they bury the eggs on the beach in the sand. The eggs hatch, they come out of the sand and they go make their way into the water. A lot of you guys probably seen that on National Geographic. But what a lot of people don't understand, that from the time they are born, these loggerhead turtles, they connect to the Earth's electromagnetic field, and they remember exactly where they were born. They know how to find it. You put them anywhere on the planet, they're going to get their way back to where they was born, so they can lay their own eggs the same place where they was born. It's the same thing with like salmon. They use the electromagnetic field to get around. Same thing with birds. They use it to navigate. It's a big deal. We're the only ones not using it. So when I talk about this before, about us being out of sync with nature, out of sync with, the universe. And that's what it's about. Them destroying our hearts, destroying our synchronicity to the Earth's magnetic field, which once we connect with the Earth, we connect with the universe, and we can begin to manifest what we want. And of course, this is not what they want. So at all costs, when you pay attention to what they're doing to us and everything they put in our food and everything like that, what we are taking in, we are so out of tune with the Earth that we are not getting exactly what we need to manifest. There are other ways, and there's other ways that we use, but it's also dealing with the heart, as we'll get into. So the attack on our heart has really began a long time ago. And as we move, more deeper into the technology era, technology age, the more and more we are going to be distorted energetically by our phones and everything else. TVs, all the electronics that we have around, they are there to hinder us, to throw us out of synchronicity, to basically block out a connection that we're going to have to the Earth electromagnetic field. This is why I talked about this before. The bees have been dropping off like crazy. If any of you guys seen the special about the bees, if they wasn't talking about EMFs, if they wasn't talking about the Earth electromagnetic field, whatever they were saying is bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. It's so much energy pollution that's going around. I mean, just think about it. When you have birds using the Earth's energy to get around, if they somehow was, distracted, or it was a block between, that that knowledge, that energy in them, then, we have birds dropping out of the sky or have problems. And we have seen this before where you have birds just drop dead because it's a dead zone. The area that they're connecting with, as far as, their connection with the Earth electromagnetic field, is gone. And this is something that was brought up before about these spots. It's almost like, spots of dead zones around the planet to where there's no real energy flowing. And you get these birds that's just thrown out of sync, and they go into these areas and they just, for some reason, they just give out. And this happened a few times actually. And this is what's going on with the bees. And the bees are being so distorted by Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all these invisible signals that they are picking up, and that we can't see, but we are picking up as well, that is disturbing us both. So what I recommend for a lot of people is to really make sure, you have crystals around. Amethysts are pretty good. They have healing powers as well as blocking out EMFs. And a lot of people are, not really into, I told you I'm going to have an entire video done on crystals and healing and everything like that to really get into the truth about them and how they really help and how. So I'm gonna put that on YouTube so everybody can see. So, it's important to have things like amethyst. I have a pretty huge one. Actually have bigger ones in Sweden, but you can see, make sure you get the real deal. Something like this will cost you about, about $150, maybe $200, depending on where you go. And, you can see there's real, that's real stone there. That's actually from a huge chunk. Right here you can see, but you can find these things at many different places. So, keep things like this and, other little crystals. I love the focus on this camera, it's banging. And, this has a Merkaba on the inside. Hopefully it focuses, there we go. But, keep these things around and they help. There's a lot of energy, negative energy, going around that's blocking and not just blocking our connection, but also opening us up to receive negative energy that we don't want, in our lives and anywhere near us. So, it's good to wear stones as well, to always have them with you to kind of block out negative energy. A lot of people hate me because I'm like always positive person. I try not to be negative in any kind of way. People will push you to those points to where you get upset and everything like that. And you'll notice after a while that, you're so past that at some point. And, it's so, stupid, when as you get older and more wiser and just, you get your energy right. And it's just like, I don't even really get upset. It's just things that really bother you as you really start to understand what's going on with this planet and everything like that. You start to have that knowledge of why, and it just kind of, makes you understand why things are the way that it is, and you be sort of more passive or more understanding about a lot of stupid stuff, and it just, rolls off your back. But we understand there's a lot of negative energy out there, and a lot of things blocking this connection that we should have with the earth, and understanding that this electromagnetic connection is very important, and it plays a very important role in meditation and us really connecting. This is why a lot of people's meditation is not working. As I said, it's a lot more to it than just sitting in lotus position and closing your eyes and thinking. There's a lot more to it than that. And this is why a lot of people are having confusion, and a lot of people abandon meditation because they just don't understand what is the point. What am I exactly supposed to be doing within meditation? And then, as I explained many times, your mindset, where your mind is at that moment when you close your eyes. A lot of us are fighting demons, that we are fighting things that, that are within us that we can't control. We call these things demons, not actual spooky things, of course. But a lot of people are fighting that. And when you are going through something serious, a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. A lot of people don't want to don't want to dwell on it, they don't want to think about it, and in meditation, this stuff will come up. This is the whole point of the personal economic series that I put out, because a lot of people are having financial problems that's really hindering them. And let's keep it real. Most people's problems are financial. If you have problems in your life, most of our problems can be fixed, with money. So it's tough to get serious about meditation when bills are due, rent's due, you're short, you're late, or what have you. You don't have enough money for something, or you'll want something. Close your eyes, you're in a constant thought. You have a constant thought process of what you need and what you want and the problems and issues that are occurring within your life. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing that these things are coming up in meditation. It's good because it's coming up so that you can address them. The problem is, a lot of us don't want to address these things. We don't want to deal with these problems and issues, so we suppress them, and that's a big problem. So we have to really understand that when you go into lotus position, there's much more to it, as you're going to see as we go along. So when we look, what are the biggest problems? The biggest things we do, I should say, that lead to our problems. We either make the wrong decisions or procrastination. It's just that simple. And this is what, meditation is basically going to help you deal with, and really the whole point. And a lot of people always give me this question, what is the point of it? What are we trying to do here? You are trying to program your subconscious to affect your consciousness. Plain and simple. You're trying to program yourself to walk in that path that you want to walk in that goal that you have set for yourself. And a lot of people may look at it and it may sound spooky to you, but you are being programmed all the time to do things that you don't want to do. And when I talk about the hip hop culture, it's programming us to do exactly the opposite of what we really want to do. It's programming us to go against what we know is right. And we do it all the time. So programming, that is the main purpose of it, to really program, to have this energy, this memory that you want to set for yourself to get you to walk in the goal, the path, the journey that you want to walk in. So when you look at it and you're going into meditation and you're dealing with these issues, these problems that may come up, if you don't deal with them in meditation, if you're not dealing with them at all, you're not ever going to kind of figure a way out. If you get in a problem, how are you going to get out of it? You can't just have a problem and just sit back and say, whatever happens, happens. Then, you'll meet your doom that way. But, if in meditation you train yourself, you train your subconscious to help you consciously to, when the time is right, it allows your body to walk in that goal instead of you making the wrong decisions. Instead of you procrastinating, you done trained yourself to, hey, we got to do this. This is what I need to do. And it'll be natural to you. You'll just do it without really even having to remind yourself, because subconsciously, you're just going to, your consciousness is just going to allow you to just go that direction, to just do those things that you are supposed to do and have it all work out for you. Now, when I say we have to program ourselves, program your consciousness to allow you to act consciously, a lot of people may think that sounds spooky, it may sound weird to a lot of you. And again, the reason why I use the hip hop culture, because this is exactly what they're doing to us. They are programming us across the board. As I talked about before in the calculated destruction video about how they can program us by remote control. Black community, plain and simple. So when you look at the fact that going to the hood wherever you live at, and then go to another hood in another city, you're going to see the same stuff. How is it that across the board we can resonate with the same issues in different hoods across America? Think about that. I mean, the fact that you have the black community, I can go to the hood in Philly and find the same things in the hood in Cali, the hood here in Vegas, and what is that? The common thing that we have to look at, and this is basically what you're going to be doing. If you was a cop and you found out it was a murder here in Philly, the same way it was here in Vegas or what have you, or you would look at the connection. If you were FBI, you will look at the whole thing and say, well, what is it that is in common? I see the same type of murder situation in this city, in this city, this city, this city, this hood, this ghetto, or what have you. What is the common connection? And that is that we all follow a hip hop culture. And it's just, there it is. It's a no-brainer to what the problem is and what the programming is. And that we are being programmed to be this way and act this way. It's a programming. So in that sense, you have to deprogram yourself. And a lot of people have talked about this. And again, meditation. So when you look at it in the sense of now you have these issues in life, how are you going to solve them? You go into meditation, and a lot of people try not to deal with them, but you need to address these problems, and you need to consciously, in meditation, think of the solution. What can I do? What can possibly happen to rectify this situation? Can my cousin give me money? My aunt give me money? Can I go work here? Can I do this? You don't even have to think about that. You can just focus on the situation just correcting itself somehow, some way, and focus on it. Think about it. If there's a way, you need to meditate on that way and what you can do to get the job done, or what can happen in order for your situation to be corrected. This is what you're supposed to be doing in meditation, dealing with the issues. So if you have a goal that you want to set for yourself, you need to focus on, in meditation, the exact steps, what you need to happen in order to reach that goal. Plain and simple. And it's going to make a lot of sense later on in this video when we get into why and what that is about resonating with these thoughts and understanding that, if you want something to get done, you have to set the goal and set the stage for it. I mean, a lot of people don't really understand what programming means. So clearly, if they want us to act a certain way, or they want an actual outcome, you program for something to be done in the future. Plain and simple. You set for something to be done in the future. So, if you want to watch something and you're not going to be there to watch it, you program your DVR or what have you to record it for you. You come back, you can watch it. You want people to act a certain way or be a certain way. You program them to act that way. And a lot of people don't really think about, you go to rehearsals for what? You practice how to dance, a certain move, or, a play. You rehearse, you study for what? So that later on, when you're going to actually perform, you know the moves. When you're actually going to take the test, you know the answers. You program yourself to perform every time, all the time. It's the same thing with meditation. You need to be in meditation to program yourself to perform, to do what you need to do. This is the true purpose of it. It's not for you to get in lotus position and get all misty-eyed and think about a bunch of stuff and fall asleep. That is the purpose, to align yourself with exactly what you want from the universe. And it's not so much just about you thinking about it, but understanding that there is a really unique connection, which we're going to get into in a second, that is going to allow you to connect and allow this to be possible. A lot of us use it, and we don't know that we're using it. And a lot of us have had, things come true and happen for us, and we don't know exactly how. And we're going to get into this. So now we have all heard the phrases, true to your heart, heart's desire. I know it by heart. My heart's not in it. My heart is broken. All these terms that deal with the heart. What is this all about? Why did the ancient Egyptians basically believe that the key to the afterlife was the heart, that the heart was the key? Why so much emphasis on the heart? It's a really big deal. Now, because you gotta really think about it. The Egyptians, the entire afterlife is dealing with the heart. Of everything they could have picked, everything in the universe, everything in the world, every physical thing that we can think of, the heart is what they deem is the key to the afterlife. Wow, what is going on? Why so much emphasis on the heart again? And we know they base the entire civilization. When you go into the Egyptian origin story, the creation story, we know Ma'at was there. Everything is based off Ma'at. Ma'at is truth. Plain and simple. It's because the heart tells no lies. The heart only gives us truth. Plain and simple. And the Egyptians talked about this in the Book of the Dead. And that there is the key, people. Truth. Plain and simple. And we can trace everything back to Kemet. And I always talk about this. Truth is it. Truth is how you connect. Truth is the key to connecting to the earth and connecting to its electromagnetic field and connecting to the universe. It's truth. It's going to make a lot of sense in a second when you understand that in truth, you have gotten a lot of things done. In truth, you have, realized and made a lot of things work in your favor without you really even realizing it, to tell you the truth. Many of us have been in situations where it seemed like it was no way out. It was tough. Things was hard. You didn't know, how exactly you was going to get out of this one. And somehow you always do. Somehow you get out of it. And a lot of people don't understand that connection with the heart and what that really means, to have your heart in it, to be using the power of your heart. And why the heart is so important to the ancient Egyptians and so important to everything. Why it sends more neurological signals to the brain than the brain sends to it. It is very important and very unique in our existence. And we have it, and it's the most powerful thing that we possess. And we are having it, tinkered with and messed with daily. So a lot of times you may have these problems. You hear people say they cry themselves to sleep. A lot of people are heartbroken and they have these issues, and people go to sleep and they wake up different. A lot of people don't understand that, when you have a problem that's really affecting you, giving you heartache, a lot of people don't want to address these problems and deal with it. And it's so painful and it's so serious that the subconscious breaks it down and has them deal with it in a dream state. And because it's so true that the connection is made and the message is put out to the universe, the next thing you know, your problem is over. And a lot of people wake up and they can't remember those dreams. This happens a lot more with women than men because they are more spiritually connected. But a lot of people don't remember those dreams. And next thing you know, the issue is resolved somehow. Somehow you get out of it. And and not to really put it in this way, spooky way, we don't even understand sometimes we may have completely eradicated an entire problem in our life that we will never have any memory or recollection of because of that. And a lot of problems completely disappear and go away. And things you may be seriously worried about because your heart was connected, because you had truth and that desire to get rid of the problem and fix the problem was rectified. So when you correlate this whole thing, when you add it to the mix of meditation, this is exactly what you want to happen, to where you are tapping in to truth. You are being truthful in meditation. You're not going in meditation wishing. You are going in meditation with your heart, wanting these things to be true and having it, that feeling, that connection of truth with it. You don't want this money or you don't want these things in your life because it's going to make you look good, because you just want them, because, you want to shit on somebody or you want to shine over somebody. There's a true connection to it. There's a desire for it. And you can really, mix up desire with want, and it's a bad mix. So now it's about 4 a.m. when I started recording, so the sun is coming up. But one of the things we got to look at is how, when I say that, they go ahead and attack, the heart. And the heart is the key to really getting messages across to us. So when we look at TV commercials, when we look at movies and everything, a lot of things, many commercials are geared more towards persuading you with even laughter, which laughter is another key to your heart. When people get you to laugh, it gets you to fall more in love with them. So we see a lot more of these commercials geared more towards laughter or heartfelt moments. It's the same thing with music. A lot of people, are more closer to songs that are slow, songs about love or what have you. We put our heart into these songs. And it's the same thing, they know how to get to us by, affecting the heart, getting people to be in love and be connected with these commercials and movies and songs or what have you. It's the same thing with church. In church, they told you to give your heart to Jesus Christ, not your mind, your heart. Give your heart to Jesus. And, they told you in church when something went wrong when something was dire, you was in a serious situation, to pray. Close your eyes, bow your head, and pray. And as I talked about, prayer is more like meditation. That is the whole thing of it. So what they understood is when you're coming in prayer and it's serious and you have your heart behind what you're praying behind. And a lot of people will go through problems that's serious to them, serious problems, and they get down to pray because they don't know no better. That's what they was taught. And sometimes the prayers come true. And they are not realizing that it's because they had a heartfelt connection, a truth connected to their prayer, that the situation was so serious that they was able to rectify it with prayer, which is really meditation. And this is why a lot of people get, more connected with religion, because they pray and they have, their prayers come true seemingly. And, it's tough to convince a person that that's not what fixed the problem. When they pray and they really in truth are trying to get the problem rectified, and they feel like, God fixed their problems or God solved their problems, so they continue on with the religion. But this is what they understood. And now you have a lot of people stuck in the religion and coming back to religion, because once you get a religious person, a Christian, to pray and have that prayer answer, it's tough for you to convince them that, God didn't do it. And we know that's a true, serious connection in church, because you get people that come in there, get the Holy Ghost, start acting all crazy. People go to church and just bust out crying in front of a bunch of strangers. And people go there and act a fool, because they truly believe their heart is in it. It's in the church. They truly believe it's God, and they're feeling God, and they want to feel God in their hearts. And that's what the congregation, that's what the preacher tells you, to let God in your heart, to accept God in your heart, because they understood. Once you get it in your heart, that's game. To you, it's going to be truth. And that's how they was able to really keep a lot of us in religion for so long, and keep people in religion so long, because that truth. And when a person has their heart set on something, it's tough to take them away. You might have your favorite foods. You might still like fried chicken. You might like a lot of foods that's unhealthy for you. You're not trying to hear nobody say, hey, don't eat that. It's not good for you. Not trying to hear that. You're not trying to hear a person, when you're in a relationship, tell you that that person is cheating, or that person is doing you wrong. When you love somebody, you got an emotional attachment to them. You don't want to believe any bad news about them. And, what happens once we hear that news and we find out that it's true? We say we're heartbroken. You broke my heart. Everything has this heart connection, and it's a serious thing, and it gets you to understand more why the ancient Egyptians really revered the heart and really focused on the heart, and the heart was the key to all of this. It makes so much more sense when you begin to understand how much we use it in our daily life, and how much it is being attacked, and how much they are programming us through the heart, which, as I said, sends more neurological signals to the brain than the brain sends to it. It's a double whammy. If you get the heart, you get the mind as well. And this is what they have effectively been doing for a long time. So now with hip hop, what they have basically done is they have gotten us to distort our truth, to get us to be emotional and heartfelt with this music and with these artists, and everything that the culture entails, and to confuse that with it being truthful to our hearts. So when you have an emotional connection to something, you believe is true. And it's just how we are. As I said, with church, a lot of people believe Jesus is real because of this emotional connection they have or had in church or what have you. So a lot of us, when we see these artists, we are confusing that truth. A lot of us don't realize that it's not so much that, they want the fame or, the groupies and everything like that. People are resonating with these artists because they see Black success. We see entrepreneur. We see these rappers having clothing lines and doing big things, driving fast cars or what have you. And a lot of people confuse that connection with them wanting that lifestyle or to be like this person. But what they really are resonating with is the success. And a lot of people are putting out these emotions that they are seeing from this culture and getting back the negative and not the positive, because it's a distortion going on there. So when you think about the culture and everything that it entails, and us being confused and having, these emotions distorted. You have to just really pay attention to our reaction to certain things, and you can see that we have a distortion going on here based upon, what we're seeing in a movie versus reality. And what I mean by that is, you look at something like Boys in the Hood. A lot of people got emotional, upset when Ricky got killed. Remember, this dude had something going good for him, and he was going to go to college and play football, and he was coming from a situation of poverty like most of us, and he was going to be somebody. He was going to do something good in life, and then seeing him being cut down like that, it's crazy. It's something that anybody from the hood can resonate with, and it was a sad thing, and a lot of people felt emotional at that moment. I remember when I seen the movie, it was like big deal. It was kind of shocking at a young age to see something like that, and it seems so real. And whenever I even see that movie, it brings back that first feeling, that old feeling. The first time I seen it, I feel that same emotion when I watch it. So it's like, man, we see something like that and we get confused. And of course, on the surface, when we're watching it, you don't want to see that happen. You don't want to see something like that in real life. Same thing, I give you another example. Black Panther movie, you have so many people don dashikis and get dressed up and go to see Black Panther. And a lot of people really understood the significance of that movie, and that, it's important to have black superhero support for the culture. A lot of people understood how important it was for that movie to come out and be successful, for black folks to show us being cast in a different light other than a slave, to see it as a superhero and see us doing big things. So a lot of people understood that it's an important movie, showing us in a different light as being successful, as being in power, powerful people, being united, connected. It's an important movie. So when you take the two movies, take Boys in the Hood and somebody getting shot and killed, and we understanding that's wrong, and you take Black Panther and everybody understanding that this is an important movie for black folks and we need to have this look and be shown as powerful, what have you. What do we do in real life? We glorify killing each other. We don't support black businesses. We don't support each other. So for us to get so emotional because of entertainment and put our hearts into these movies and get emotional about a dude getting killed and feeling some type of way about that, getting emotional, everybody going crazy over Black Panther movie, so many memes and so many different posts on social media about Black Panther and Black Power, and everybody want to be down with the dashiki now and really get into black everything because of a movie, because of entertainment. Before the movie, you'd be hard pressed to get somebody to put on a dashiki, but now because of entertainment and this connection we have, you have people jumping on the bandwagon. But in real life, in reality, not supporting black businesses. They're not promoting each other. We're not really trying to, even claim Africa. Black people act like they're ashamed of Africa. We glorify music that's killing black people. Black on black crime, we glorify it. So you understand when I say they have effectively distorted this emotion. And now since we have our heart connected with it, the truth is distorted, because let's keep it real. In reality, you don't want to see no brother get cut down like that by a shotgun. Who want to see that? In reality, you want black people to really succeed, to grow in power, to basically be successful and be united. This is what we want. But we are not putting that out in reality. We look at it in movies and we use the movie as being our truth and not the reality as the truth. So when it comes to the movies and the songs, we can be all down with it. We can be down with the fake culture. We could be down with this whole charade of acting like Black Panther is actual real history and everybody going crazy over it. We can, spend millions of dollars and making these people wealthy. Same thing with hip hop, making these people wealthy, but we won't, as I always talk about, donate the money for our children to go to school in real life. We won't put up the money for us to do, entrepreneurial things in real life. But when it comes to entertainment, everybody's all game. That is a distortion of the mind. And it's because we had this heart connection to it that, as I said, the heart being connected and sending these neurological signals to the brain, they are able to effectively change our heart and our mind through more control. Now, it's the same thing with, women in this culture. And we see the craze right now. If you got a big ass, you can get 1 million followers on Instagram. All you got to do is just walk around. And the whole thing is, most women, you would think when approached, if you ask them, would you rather be looked at and respected for your mind or your body? And most people would say, my mind. I want people to like me because they like me, not because they like my body. But you have a lot of women who believe their problems can be solved just by having a fat ass. And the difference is staggering when you compare the women who feel like, that thing is wrong, is just disrespectful to women, and the women who believe that this is just the way it is. It's how I make my money. I got to do what I got to do. As if there isn't an alternative. But it's the culture that's driving it. It's the culture that has people believing that this is real, and it's a heartfelt connection. And when a person believes that, this is something they have to do, a lot of people get this emotional connection like, it's real, or this is real. This is something I got to do. So I'm just trying to pay bills. I'm trying to feed my family. This is what people are connected with their heart, that understanding, and it's distorted. It's wrong. And they get that distortion and that idea from the culture, plain and simple. So we follow this culture. When you see one thing, these trends popping up back to back, and you have so many people doing it. You have so many women looking at these women get hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers because of their bodies, and they feel like, hey, I can do the same thing. And they jump on the bandwagon and do the same thing. And it's a negative culture that we're putting out. But in reality, these same women, would they want their daughters doing that? Of course not. If they wasn't doing it, do you think they would look down at other women doing it? Probably so. And it could be a case of jealousy to the women who don't want to do it, which I don't think so. But you have to step back and look at the situation and say, is this what they really want to do? Is it, when you get to a certain point and we get enough money, why keep it going? I look at a lot of this stuff, and you see people who will destroy their entire life and their image and the way they are perceived just for a little teeny bit, of recognition, of likes and comments. And it's the culture. It's a distortion. In order for you to do something like that, you have to really believe in it. You have to be all in. And you have to justify you being all in. And everybody justifies anything they do by the way they feel. It's not so much the mind, it's what I feel. I feel like this is what I should be doing. I feel like this is going to be the best thing for me. And this is why people get defensive, even when you try to, talk them down, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. They are so emotionally attached to it that they will argue you down about what they're doing, even though when you really put it to them in a different context, they would say it's wrong. This is the distortion that is going on, and it's getting us to believe that these heartfelt emotions and feelings are truths, and they are not truths. So by us feeling like it's a truth and it's genuine to us, we are then connecting ourselves to a negative energy and putting it out to the universe. And it's bringing back negative results in a lot of cases. So they have basically, tricked us pretty good. And now you got women calling each other bitches, and it's a good thing. Even when you look back in the beginning of this whole thing, when they really started to flip-flop the whole terminology. And, in the beginning, they didn't know no better. So we were saying bad is good. That's bad. That chick is bad. We were saying that it's the bomb. That's dope. Things that are bad names, we was taking bad names and putting it with good. And this is what we have been doing. Everything that is bad, we flip good. So us using this terminology, we don't understand is, affecting us. They got us to buy into an entire culture. geared towards killing each other, selling drugs, disrespecting our women. Everything bad we can think of, we do in this culture. And they got us to accept it with our hearts, that we argue about it, we fight for it, we get awards for it. And we bought into it hook, line, and sinker. And it's a negative connection that we are having. And instead of us really pulling out the truth of what we feel about what we are seeing, it's flipped to where the negative is good. It's just that simple. So we're glorifying it. But as I said, deep down inside, many of us don't want to see anybody get killed, or we don't want to see the negative, things that's happening in the Black community come to fruition. We want the best for our people, and the entire, outcry and everything we've seen with Black Panther proves that people want to see us in the best conditions. They want to see us looking good, and they have got us to push more for a fictional, reality, a fictional success story for Black folks than an actual one, a true one. That's crazy. And that's one of the things a lot of people didn't take away from the Black Panther movie is the fact that you had so many people get behind this movie with their money and their time and their energy, and they don't do the same things in real life to see the Black success. It's a separation. It's a disconnect of the heart, and it's a distortion, and we are all being manipulated in that way to accept what we're seeing and deal with it. Not try to fix it, to just cope and get by and live more in the whole fairy tale world of this hip hop culture and not try to fix our reality. And it's crazy. So a lot of people's mindset is go to work, live in this culture, and don't try to do too much to benefit your people. And that's what it is. So in a culture that, talks about keeping it real, keeping it 100, nobody is. Nobody is. We glorifying something that we really don't want to see in real life. And in real life, we're not supporting something that we really want to see in real life. And we are supporting more the fictional than the reality. That is a distortion. Nobody want to point that out. Nobody wants to really go against the entertainment industry because it's not popular. Plain and simple. But what you have to understand that all these things have very real problems when it comes to meditation. It's going to distort all that because you have so many confusions going on within you that you think is truth, and it's not. So when you go into meditation with all this stuff going on, you don't know what's going to pop up. You don't know what your true desire is. It deceives you, your emotions, your heart. It's tricking a lot of people. This is why you have so many people wanting to be musicians, celebrities. They want to act, they want to rap, they want to sing. They want to be famous because they have been tricked into falling into this culture instead of fixing reality. I want to be a part of the fairy tale instead of fixing the reality. And this is what we are doing. So when you come in meditation and you have so many things going on, people just don't know where to go. It's a confusion. A lot of people don't know what to really focus on. And as I said, when you come in there, what you need to be focusing on is your true desire. But if you don't know what that is, and you don't know the steps to get there, you're going to confuse yourself. It's going to be an issue. So as I said, it's going to be more of a desire, a want that's going to be distorted in meditation. And, as they teach in Buddhism, you should rid yourself of desire. This is why the monks chose the life that they chose, because they understand that wanting these material things creates pain. A want, a desire, and it affects you spiritually and in meditation, of course. So one of the reasons why I put these videos out, not to sugarcoat anything or try to make it like, meditation is this super hard thing, or, it's more of an understanding of the purpose, what you are exactly using meditation for and what you want to get out of it. And the thing is, in reality, a lot of us can't live that life. We are so connected to the lifestyle that we have. And a lot of people just can't go out there and live the way the monks do and separate themselves from this culture. So this is why I'm trying to get you guys to understand how to live within it and to how to bypass and get around all of the bullshit. plain and simple. It's not a lot of people teaching that. A lot of people want to just make you believe that everything is possible and anything is possible, and none of these roadblocks are in our way. A lot of people don't want to address these very real things that we face every day, and this is what we got to deal with. So again, as I said in the beginning, when you're getting into meditation, you can't just go in and just think it's all about getting in lotus position and praying, closing your eyes and hoping and not knowing, where to go next and what to do. It's more to it. There's a lot more to it as far as getting the body ready and the mind ready, because this is the journey that you're about to take. It's a journey with the mind and with the heart. So when you're in meditation, you should be looking for that emotional connection, that desire for whatever you are trying to accomplish. And you go in there and thinking that your desire is to do something. If it's attached to this entertainment industry, I suggest to you it's a farce. And what you're going to pull out is the negativity from it, because that's what it was designed to do, to trick you into thinking that you want what you're seeing, but really you're not realizing that everything that you're asking for is negativity attached to it. Plain and simple. So how could you want to be in this lifestyle of a hip hop artist when they're talking about killing and drug dealing and everything like that? And this is the type of stuff you're going to attract to you in your life. It's the same thing with the women, thinking they want to be with a baller and everything like that, and understand that you're going to attract a baller that's a player that don't got no respect for you, and this is what you're going to end up with. Same thing. So it's a trick, and a lot of people go to sleep hoping for this stuff, and people pray for this stuff, and they really get so emotionally attached to this stuff that they manifest a lot of bad things within their lives, and they have no clue what's going on. And it's tough for you to tell them that something that they feel so emotionally connected with is bad for them. So meditation is where you're going to get serious anyway. And as I talked about before, you should really, before meditation, you should already have some sort of understanding of what you want to get out of meditation. So when you're going in there, you're, again, trying to really program your brain, program your subconscious to affect your consciousness, to get you to walk in what you're trying to do. So when you're going in there, you are really being, diligent of what you want, and you're focusing on that and exactly what you need to do to get there. The steps, everything you think is possible that you can do. Focus on that action, what I got to do at that moment, all the steps I got to take, everything that is possible that you have to do to get what you're trying to get. And when you break it down, piece by piece, step by step, and you have a clear thought and focus on that, when you are in reality, you're going through those motions and these things start to come up, your subconscious will make sure that you consciously follow the right path. And it's going to seem normal to you. And it's going to seem like there is no intervention, of course, but it's really you following the plan you laid out for yourself. And that's what it is, the programming working for you instead of working against you. So with hip hop, that programming is working against us. And it seemed like it's us. It seemed like we are just doing what we are supposed to do, what we feel like we want to do. But we are following these trends in this culture that is anti-us. Plain and simple. We are not about killing and shaking ass and everything that we accept in this culture. It's not us. We're following the programming. Now, it seems normal to us. It seems like we just having fun. We just doing what everybody else is doing. But it's against truth. It is against our truth. So we are tricking our heart. We are tricking our subconscious, our emotion, into believing that this is the truth that we want. And it's putting it out to the universe and bringing us back all the negativity with it, which is what we do not want. As I said to you before, if you are conscious and understanding of the true purpose of this music and this culture, it will not affect you. But people who are walking around and immersed in this culture and have a desire for the things they see in it, they will attract it. They will bring it to their lives, as I said many times, and the outcome will be what it will be. But when you go in with meditation, you want to have a clear understanding on what you're looking for and what you're trying to get out of it, and to bring that out in truth, that you make sure that you're walking the right path and walking in your goal and not in something that's been put in implanted in your brain that's negative. It's just that simple. So it's a lot more to meditation. Being able to talk to the monks and talk to people who really spend their life meditating, who really understand this stuff, it's a big help. And I really hope you guys take the information seriously and understand how different it is from people who just telling you to sit down and think. These people, these monks, really put a lot of time into what they do. And again, as I said, they can live that lifestyle and separate themselves from desire to make it easier for them to meditate and to manifest the kind of reality that they want, and to really help them deal with what they see. And it's deep. It's a lot to it. And again, getting into just the preparing your body for your heart part of it is huge, and making sure that you're healthy and there's nothing hindering you from really having full capacity of your body, your heart, and everything. It's a big part of it. And it's one of the reasons why Shaolin monks, as I said, train and do what they do to help the energy flow through their body, the chi or what have you, and to really have their cells, energetically ready to be in meditation for a long period of time. And you want to really be in there for a long time, if you can, as long as possible, to really deeply get your subconscious to accept the programming and what you're trying to do, and to get your body ready to go and walk into those steps and to do what you need to do. It's not so much as you just memorizing what you want to do in life and you just having that understanding, because things don't work out that way. You forget. And as I said, when you want to program something, to do something for you later, you do it because you might forget, or you want something later. That's why we program TVs to record something for us so we can see it later on. And this is why we train and why we memorize and why we study for tests, because we're going to need it later on. You have to be the same way with your body and what, your emotions and what your consciousness and your brain and how you want it to help your body get to a certain point. So I said this many times now, the key to it all is truth. The Egyptians based their society on truth, ma'at. We see the heart's the key to the underworld, the afterlife. Meaning, metaphorically, make sure your heart is right before death. They're leaving it in the body. It's a big deal to understand that heart consciousness that's connected to everything, that's connected to the earth, connected to the universe, is a big deal. You have to have it right. So when you understand what it's trying to teach you and tell us about the importance of the heart and the fact that they are attacking our heart daily, giving us fake heartfelt messages that we get emotionally attached to but shouldn't. And it's a distortion of, what we truly want and believe in. And because everybody's doing it, we follow the trend. It's an attack on consciousness, period, point blank. It's an attack on our connection to the universe. And they understand all this. So the heart is just the most important thing. And meditation, again, getting into mind, body, spirit, and understanding the purpose of the heart is the body and what it's really talking about, is definitely going to help you as you go along and really do more research and focus on the aspect of the heart more, because this is what you have to really deal with in this physical reality. It's your heart, your body, and the heart is right, the mind will follow. If you be conscious of what you're putting in your heart, your mind will be fine, your energy will be fine. It's just that simple. So the heart was the most important, which is why the Egyptians revered it. So if you're going in meditation with your heart's desire, you're going to manifest just that. So you better be clear on what you really want as far as what's in your heart, and make sure it's something that you really want and not something that has been programmed into you. And I got to reiterate that, because this is what people are doing. And I listen to and read so many emails from people, and people talking about what they want and their desires in life. And a lot of these wants that a lot of people have is basically coming from mainstream media. It's coming from the programming. It's coming from what they're seeing on TV. And a lot of people want things that they probably wouldn't want if they was in their right mind. And it's crazy to see it. But you look at a lot of these celebrities, a lot of the conscious ones meditate. Russell Simmons always talks about meditation a lot. And you have people like Angelina Jolie and Will Smith, his son. You have a lot of celebrities come out and really get into meditation and get into spirituality and what they do. Will Smith was on Tavis Smiley, and he was really talking about putting out to the universe and having the universe work for you, because these actors, these celebrities understand what this stuff is about because they are using it, plain and simple. And this is the power. I talked about this in Voodoo. I talked about this in many videos about what they're using against us. But, it's the same type of implications as you going deep in meditation and putting this, same stuff out. The problem is, it's the programming. It's the voodoo that they're using basically on us that you're putting out, instead of training your subconscious to really get your consciousness to work for you and not for them. So with meditation, our biggest threat is ourselves, plain and simple. Us fighting against the programming, everything that we're taking in on a daily basis and how it is affecting us. So when you get into the whole situation I talked about with demons and understanding what they mean and really grasping the concept of them talking about demons in music. Everybody seen the whole thing about Illuminati and devil worship and hip hop and what they are really talking about, because the music has demons. And as I said, those demons are just, bad things that we have within ourselves that manifest, physically. So when they talking about demons behind the music, a man named G. Craig Lewis made a lot of money really convincing people that these things are real, that these demons are actual real demons. But the metaphor is speaking of is these ills, these things that's taking control of your consciousness, your subconscious, and your heart, and making you resonate with these bad things and getting you to do bad stuff. So we can all agree, us glorifying killing black people and rapping about it and cheering and chanting it is bad. No matter how we may look at it on an entertainment value, it's something that we should not do. You wouldn't walk up to a person and say, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking head. That wouldn't be considered, kosher, cool. It would be a negative thing to do, and probably would end up in a fight or something like that. So, us screaming and giving energy to these words and to this atmosphere, and by so many people giving energy to this, we have created the reality of black on black crime, poverty, suffering, us killing each other, and us being in the state we are in. So these are the biggest things that we're going to deal with, that you're going to face, that's going to come up. And really understanding how to rid yourself of those emotions, those feelings, and those thoughts in meditation and in your daily life. So as I said, we have been programmed to walk in their programming and the agenda, the plan that they have set out for us. And we can see that our society, the black community, is walking in that programming by the way the culture is, us destroying ourselves, us not really supporting each other, supporting black businesses, or having the understanding to go out and create black business and be successful. So the programming is working. And again, when you look at meditation, you can't take it as, the way it's being put out to you based on a person giving it to you, as far as, what they're doing. So meditation is going to be unique to each of you, but this is what you need to keep in mind as far as the application of it. And it's not, as I said, you just sitting down in lotus position, closing your eyes. Each of you will have to apply exactly what I'm saying to your experience and understand what you're trying to get out of it is programming your subconscious to allow your conscious self to walk again in that path, and to reprogram yourself and destroy the demons that have been programmed within you that's going to haunt you in meditation, in the dream world, and it's going to cause you to physically act out or walk in these negative paths. Now, when we look at the Tibetan monks. The Tibetan monks have a different sort of Buddhism, or let's say understanding for what they want to achieve with meditation. And it's pretty amazing what they're trying to do. It kind of sort of borders along the line of the Avatar. So the Last Airbender, if you've seen the cartoon, any of you guys. But what the Tibetan monks believe with meditation, I talked about this in part 1 as far as physical stimulation by thought, controlling the body, healing the body, strictly through meditation, strictly through thought. So you want to be able to get into lotus position and completely heal, and eventually get it to a point where, it's just easy. It's breathing, as far as cleansing your body and healing your body and being free and clear of all, attachment, desires and everything like that, things that'll hold you back spiritually. So they believe that, there are steps that we take in carnations. So you have one carnation, one lifetime, where you're going through the beginning stages of understanding that you need to develop your mind to basically assist your body in spiritual growth. So eventually you will get to a point where you might go far or you might plateau in life, but eventually, you'll die and you'll reincarnate and you'll come back and, try again. And the whole thing is about reincarnating to the point where you get all the information that you have throughout your lifetimes. And the Tibetan monks, as well as the Buddhist monks, talk about, reincarnating and having memories, the kids having memories of their former lives, and so on and so forth. But while it may not be known to you on this conscious level exactly all the lifetimes that you may have been through, your subconscious is keeping track of everything and compiling this information and knowledge. So when you get to this last point and all the pieces are there, and you come to the point in meditation, or the point in developing your spiritual energy to where everything just connects, and they call that, the last birth, or, you being free of all karmic consequences, or really ready to reach nirvana. And basically what you will end up being able to do is control the energy within the body and control the body itself. And regular Buddhism, you see with the Buddhists in China, to eventually free yourself from the flesh and end reincarnation. But with the Tibetan monks, the Tibetan monks will say that, you can come back and have control of the body. And then from that point, when you incarnate as being a being with full control of the body and the senses, the mind, then you can move on to outward things as far as the elements. So then once you master the body, you gain control of the elements: earth, wind, water, fire, the air itself. And it's an amazing thing when you think about the concept of it, and how if we are all connected and we are able to tap into the planet itself and to the elements itself, how something like this can be possible. So I'm not saying that, we're going to see this stuff in our lifetime, when it's something that you can accomplish now in meditation, but the implications of the use for meditation in so many different civilizations, was crazy. I mean, even when we go back to ancient Kemet, them believing about meditation and the heart, and how the connection is basically going to allow you to transcend reincarnation and go into the afterlife. Remember, the whole thing, as I talked about with weighing the heart on the scales of Ma'at, is so that you can pass through judgment and live eternally. If not, you're coming back here. So, that metaphor is basically speaking to the same thing. So I went through this in Buddhism, how all this stuff is really attached. And when you look at the Book of the Dead, you look at Buddhism and look at the similarities between what they believe as far as the afterlife, everything fits. Everything fits. And there's so much more to it. But there's a lot of people who are really getting confused about, meditation. And I always get that question. I get a lot of people who always ask, meditation, are you meditating? How do we meditate? What do we do? What's the point? And that is the point. The mind has to be right. The heart has to be right. You have to really, truly understand what you're taking in. Understand. I mean, come on. When you look at it, what is the biggest thing we have in this country, in America? It's the entertainment field. That's the biggest thing going on. That's the biggest thing. You got entertainment, sports. It's just nothing bigger than that in this country. Why? All of it is for detachment. Everything that we have put so much energy behind is dealing with entertainment. None of it is dealing with spirituality at all. Plain and simple. The churches are fake. The religious institutions are full of crooks and pedophiles or what have you. Nobody's giving you true spirituality straight out. Everything is entertainment. Everything is pushing you towards a alternative lifestyle that's basically going to change or hinder what you may truly want out of your life. And you can't look at the person that's in those positions, as far as the celebrities or actors or what have you, that's in those positions of success, and then try to draw off that energy, because you're drawing off stuff that you have really no control over. You can only really deal with yourself and what you want. So, feelings of success. If you've been successful before, you had good things happen to you, you keep those emotions and feelings, and you push them forward in meditation as far as applying that emotion to an outcome, a goal that you want to have in meditation. So you do it in meditation, and hopefully it manifests. If it's true to you or something you really want to do, it will manifest in physical reality, and you will reap the benefits of it instead of drawing off somebody else's fame or money or what have you that you don't understand. It's a demon attached to it, designed for you to fail by you drawing off of it, and then at the same time you giving your energy to it, and they're getting more rich and more famous. Meanwhile, you're pulling out the negative energy and they taking all your positive energy, and it's not a fair exchange, of course. And this is why we see so many people fail in this whole entertainment field. A lot of people go out there and try to jump into the entertainment business, and it's not until they give up something that they get in. It's always a sacrifice. That's why everybody is surrounded by this whole Illuminati energy that people are talking about as far as the entertainment business. There's a lot to it, and when you understand that negativity, it's like, why would you want to draw energy from that? Why would you want to give energy to it? It's understand that you want the success, and look into your own personal life and figure out how can that be possible along the lines of what you can achieve, what you can do, what's in your, real physical lane, and draw on that and give energy to that and see how you can, accomplish that. There's a big difference between what your heart desires and what you just want. Plain and simple. It's a big difference between your heart desires and what you want. And this is why, again, in Buddhism, they rid themselves of wanting material possessions and having that desire for something, because it causes a problem. Everybody watching can relate to this. When, sometimes you want something so bad and you spend money for it, and it's like, why the hell I buy this? It's a lot of money for this, for what? And you really got to think deeply into the reason why you want a particular something. Plain and simple. I've had people that I know spend a lot of money on sneakers just to see them dogged, a week later. And it's like, now they got problems paying their phone bill or paying the bill, and you just paid $200-$300 for some sneakers that you really didn't need, but you want it because you're attached to this, this system, this atmosphere, this culture. And a lot of people blow money on things and don't realize it's because the culture is making them, desire these things, versus them looking at the big picture and saying, damn, if I save this money, I could put it to something, more that's more useful. Saving money is always a better alternative when you think about it. There's a lot of things we have that we really do not need, that if we had that money starts to add up. And you look back and you say, damn, that's a lot of money you blew on stuff that it really has no true purpose. You are basically consuming or getting it, buying it because of the culture. It's just that simple. So again, it's one of the things I talk about in personal economics, because this stuff sort of goes together. And again, I'm trying to be completely real with y'all and not give y'all no spooky stuff, to get y'all really to engage in the fact that you're not going to just go out here and live butt naked in the wilderness. You're going to be dealing with this materialistic world, so you need to know how to step around in it and understand it's one big ass mousetrap. And you're going to get stuck here, stuck there. It's designed for you to get stuck. It's just that simple. The rich have finagled their way. They understand the system. Some of them are lucky, some of them are smart. But, even with the Buddhists, they'll tell you, the rich people, same thing in the Bible. It's going to be hard for you to get into heaven if you're rich. And the reason why is attachment. When you get a certain amount of money, you got to keep that money. You have so many different energies around you, feeding off you, that you got to deal with. So if you come into this whole thing with balance from the start, and you know how to, get through the system and gain success, then you know how to get around. You know exactly what this stuff is. I mean, it's so many people that have come to me with investment opportunities to put money into so many different things that I know if I put my money into this stuff, I'm not going to like where I end up at. So a lot of things I probably could have made a lot of money off that I didn't want to really touch on because it's going to be going into mainstream, avenues or entertainment avenues where I do not want to be really dealing with. So, it's up to you to do what you want to do, but I don't want to deal with that world. I was lucky enough to get out of the entertainment business and out of the music industry, and to be where I'm at today and still be rich and successful and still have money and still be able to be free financially and, have the spirituality that I have and be able to do what I do. It's an amazing thing. And that's what I want you guys to achieve and to understand how to get, to these points and not, want and dwell on somebody else's success, but to focus on your own. And that begins in meditation. For a lot of you, this may not have been exactly what you was looking for as far as meditation. Nobody can tell you how to do it exactly, as far as once you in lotus, once your eyes is closed, nobody can help you from then on. So what is there to talk about as far as, sitting down and meditating? There's nothing else, to really get into as far as that. You need to understand what's going to take place once your eyes is closed and where you really should be at on a emotional, energetic, way. And again, that's still personal and unique to each of you. Everybody has different heart's desires. And if you go in there with doubt, believing that you can't do stuff, you won't do it. You won't do it. And I'm telling y'all, I can give you so many examples in my life as far as things when you start to think outside the box, what's possible. And I remember even, thinking about camera choices. And I was looking at, I'm filming right now on a Canon 5D Mark IV. Look it up. It's a really expensive camera. But I remember, just having a mindset that I'll never be able to get this camera and, just really wanting that camera. And then, you change your mindset, even things that small, as far as just having doubt because something costs $3,000, $4,000, you doubting it, that's a big no-no. That's something you got to really rid yourself of, is having doubt because something costs an amount of money. Forget that, focus on it. Put it within your goals and you can get it. There it is. So I remember thinking I would never be able to get one of these because it's about $4,000 for this thing, $3,000-4,000. And it's like, why can't I? People get it. It's possible. Just do it. Just go get it. And I'm not going to say I sat there and meditated on it. It was just me doing what I did and going through everything that I do as far as working and, building wealth and success. Things like that is easily achievable when you just do your norm. And again, as much as I meditate and I focus and I see clearly exactly what I want to do, I know when that time comes, when I'm moving, when I'm out in this physical world and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I know my steps, the movements that I'm making is going to lead towards success. You can ask anybody who know me. All I do is work, plain and simple. Well, workaholic. I get things done, but I also can at any time I want to go. I've been here in America for a while now because a lot of things going on, and I'm building businesses here, as I'll talk about in part 3, personal economics, which is out, and I'm accomplishing a lot of things. I'm getting a lot of things done, and these are things these are goals I set for myself last year, and even as far as time frame. What time I want to be doing this, what exactly am I going to do, am I going to be putting out videos or DVDs around this time, everything. And again, it's programming. And if you are not programming yourself to do what you want to do in the future, who is programming you? Who is making those decisions for you? They know you are not programming yourself. So they are implementing their program to get you to walk in the agenda, the programming that they want you to walk in. And that's what's taking place. That's what's going on. So again, that purpose of meditation is what you want to do as far as programming yourself, putting yourself in the right mindset for success, and to walk into the things that you want to get out of life, to be where you want to be at in this physical world. And if you're not programming you, if you're not putting this, energies, information in yourself, in meditation, on a conscious level, in a dream state, what have you, then somebody else is going to do it. And this is what they have effectively done. So all the TV programming, all the movies, the media, the news, or what have you, programming, as we know. Programming to get you to walk in that agenda. And I said this many a times. Everything that you are doing right now is not you. This culture that we live in is not us. It's not us. It was given to us. Again, especially for us, African American people, black people, Africans, what have you, being slaves and not having that understanding that, the way we talk, this culture, everything we have here is not us. Already from the jump, we already behind the gun because it's not our culture. And we so proud and going crazy over this culture, what we think is this hip hop and, everything. It was given to us. This is not us. This is not who you are. So the least you can do is become, your own man, your own woman, and figure out who you want to be, what you want to be, what you want to do, instead of just really homing in and focusing on the norm, what everybody else is doing. School, work, death. Plain and simple. Pay your taxes. That's what you got to go through. And it's crazy that we give so much energy to that. And people are proud of it and, excited about it. And yeah, you can be successful as far as their success, their idea of what successful is. Is it your idea? Who knows? But you can be what they call, successful and had a so-called American dream and have a good job and be able to take 2 vacations a year and make, 50 grand a year or whatever like that, or you can figure out your own way. Understand that it's all a trap to get you to be stuck in this rat race and run their machines, or you can take control of this whole thing yourself, be your own boss, do what you want to do, and have success. But again, it really begins in meditation and you programming yourself, your subconscious, your energy to be, walking in that path that you created, plain and simple. So it's not really too much more to get into. It's a mindset, it's a heart set, it's an energy set that you need to be immersing yourself within to go forward. So again, before you make any movement, thought occurs, plain and simple. So is that understanding of thought controlling the body. The thing is, you're not in conscious control of the thoughts. Even though you want to move and you move, happens really fast that you gave that command from your consciousness to your body and movement happened, which shows we are consciousness operating within this physical body, and that's what's taking place. And it's so fast that you can't pick up on it consciously. It's really mind-boggling when you think about it, that, when you moved, just now, whenever you moved, that it was your consciousness telling your body to do so. It was your consciousness sending the energy to your body, allowing you to move. Just that simple. So what are you? Are you the consciousness or are you the body? Or are you both? So when you think about it in those terms, same thing. It's like, okay, so it's more like a big elaborate, scheme almost, or plan that, okay, if my consciousness is going to be controlling my body and consciousness is basically creating this reality, I need my consciousness to go ahead and make this pathway available for me to go ahead and walk to this goal that I have set for myself. The more far-fetched you think it is, the more far-fetched it will be, the harder it will be for you to obtain doubt, fear, worry, hindrance. Forget it, get it out of your system. Doubt, fear, worry, disbelief, these are all personal demons that, basically everybody has at, different moments in their life. And they can be negated and, passed by with understanding, plain and simple, just, sheer will and, having a determination to, reach a destination. And if you put that on yourself, especially in meditation, and there's a lot of people who can't even daydream about success. I had a person tell me that, when they try to meditate and think of themselves having success, all the things that can go wrong always pop up in their head. The doubt pops up in their head. Like, if I try to do this, then this is going to happen, or this is going to happen. And it's crazy when you can't, fantasize about success. And this is what the system has done to us, because we know that, the good guy doesn't win a lot of times, and a lot of things are not possible. There's a lot of hurdles and roadblocks that we are going to be faced with. First one person's going to say is, well, where am I going to get the money from? Where am I going to get the money from? How am I going to do this? I mean, you're already shooting yourself in the foot, plain and simple. And again, personal economics, getting yourself in the right position to try to be financially set, because you got to understand, this is like a whole nother situation subject that I'll get on eventually, about the controllers of the money, that energy. I mean, you got to think about it, being the person that's in charge of printing all this money, the faces of these presidents and these people. I mean, it's so much energy in that $1 bill, in that money, it's crazy, and it can consume you. Everybody has heard people say, oh, he got money, he changed. He got money, he different now. You know what I'm saying? It changes people. There is an energy attached to it. It's very real. And you got to understand that. So when you just fathom that, when you have that understanding, and now you're talking about infringing on this energy to have it benefit you when it's really designed to hinder you. This takes, will. Straight balls, I'm sorry to say. You gotta be really confident in what you're trying to do and what you want to accomplish, and just have this, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. It's just that simple. Nothing is going to get in the way. I'm serious. Like, this is how I've gotten, to where I'm at. If you watch my previous videos, and I'm not trying to brag on money or anything like that. I want you guys to understand this is very real shit, that so many of my friends and people who I know are being successful, because I don't want to make it like I'm like God or something like that, because they follow what I told them to follow. Putting their money where they should put it. They doing what they should do. I wasn't really sure how long I was going to be here in Vegas until I got the Airbnbs and started doing that. But, I didn't have too much here. I spent about 10 grand in this place. As you can see, bigger TV, different fireplace, different couch. If you watch the previous videos, you can see, because I'm going to be here. So, being able to do that. You watch Personal Economics Part 2, which is out to Personal Economics Part 3, I should say, that I showed you guys. 46,000, 30 days. Just like that. And that's from off of one income. That's not even including everything else. You add everything together, it's a lot. So I said before in the videos, I was looking to quadruple or triple what I made last year, and I'm probably going to quadruple it. So as I said, the whole goal of me reaching millionaire status by June is probably by April. Who knows? I'll get there. So from nothing to where I'm at, it's possible. This is what they do not want you to know. And I'm hoping I put this to you guys in the right way, because I have to be real careful about how I'm giving this information out. So, bear with me on this DVD, because I have to put this correctly, because I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying. I want you to really grasp what I'm telling you guys, as far as really having that mindset. It's real, plain and simple. It leads to other different things, and you'll notice it. The intuition is heightened. You should be doing that already if you're following the videos and you're really into this. You should be picking up on so much more. Talked about with the Eagles, with me picking that up so fast, just by me having that knowledge. I seen it. I said, they're going to win. I know how these people operate. And again, we can't look at it as rigged, but them knowing, because they can read it. You got to realize that, this all was here before you was born. And there are rules and laws to all this stuff that some of us is just now coming into the knowledge of. But there are ways. You have people who read futures, who, tarot card readers, so-called psychics that people don't really believe in. It's real. As I told a lot of people, I get that question a lot. Psychics, yes. You have people who can look and not so much see, tomorrow you're going to get hit by a bus, stuff like that. It's more of along the lines of an energy, and you start to develop it yourself. And, you could just start. That's one of the gifts I always tell people I have is reading people's energy, and just a couple minutes of conversation with a person, I can have them sort of kind of figured out after a while. I can feel that energy. And you have people who can do this and read things energetically and really give you, based upon, various things, their interpretation of what they feel is possible. They talk about it a lot in the Bible. When you understand that metaphor, a lot of people switch it over into witchcraft and voodoo or what have you, but it's energy, as I pointed out in the voodoo series. But it's a lot more, to all of this that connects, and you'll see it as we go along in various videos, how it connects, and it just it's amazing. It's the force, basically what they're talking about. It's the force, and either it's strong with you or it's weak with you, and it's real. I'm trying to tell you, it's like one big understanding of what's going on. So I have a lot that I'm getting ready to do coming up. I will continue to, of course, put out. You will see me in many different locations coming up, and there's a lot more to this. So feel free to definitely rewatch this and really grasp and understand what I'm talking about. Watch part 1. Just keep up with the videos if you can, and really get this. We have so much more to get into as far as the connections that I really want to add on to this. Not just so much meditation, just some more physical things we're going to get into down the road. And you'll see. But it all fits. Everything. Meditation is the key. I said that a long time ago. It's the key. Program your subconscious to program you, to help you when you need it to help you, instead of you walking out there blind. It's just that simple. Because choices is going to arise, things is going to happen, and you're going to make the decision based off the programming instead of off your own programming. You're going to make decisions based off of the programming they have put into you versus the programming you have put into yourself. You want to eradicate that, and you want to instill your programming and what you want for you. Easy. So, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch and purchase and support. Definitely appreciate it. A lot more we're going to get into, and see you guys next video.